Two, 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. All right, all right, all right. Looks like I'm streaming live. Finally, I've been streaming live for about a good 3 hours now, um, and I've been having a lot of difficulty with my software and my internet connection. So I've come to the conclusion that the best way to do this is to go ahead and do the full video. If there's problems later, then I'll just do another video. But I keep logging on and logging off, logging on and logging off, and I'm having problems with it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the video. All right, so excuse me. All right, so I'm looking in my chat section, and I see William. What's up, Ill Will? I see wow, from India, Dr. Sanjeev B. Sahai. Hopefully I pronounced that right. What up? From Chicago, Illinois. It's really dope how you can talk to people from all around the world. Let's see, William Center. Thanks for the video the other day. It's all good, man. I remember when I first got this joint, and most of my equipment I learned the hard way. You know, I decided that I would read the manual first, then I would take it out the box. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but yeah, then unboxing came along, right? But it's very difficult for me to not just bust it open, right? It's like Christmas, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no problem. Today's video is brought to you by a cat, a cool cat by the name of Lil Bounce. Lil Bounce asked me, how do you sample with the Mini? So I'm gonna get to that right away. All right. First things first. Right here is a graphic of the new sample pack that I just dropped. It's at selfie.com. SELL FY, selfie, SELLFY, selfie.com/brala. You'll see this graphic. Go ahead and grab that. You'll need that to be able to follow along with this tutorial. Alright, so today I'll be using the Akai MPK Mini. I'll be using the MS Blue Vinyl sample pack. I'll be using the MPC Essential software, and I'll be letting you guys get a clue into my workflow, how I make beats. This is not how I always make beats. This is only like 1/10 of the different ways that I cultivate my tracks. So just get an idea that, you know, MPC Essentials is not my say all end all. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and keep recording. YouTube is giving me a bad video settings thing, but I don't care about that right now because I've tried so many times. The video came out pretty decent, so we'll see. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm ignoring that. Alright, so go ahead and follow me if you're on social media, on my different social networks. I'm on Instagram at Brella. I'm on Twitter at Brella Music, and also have an artist Twitter at Brella. But the music portion, which you guys are probably interested in, is at Brella Music. And Facebook, I have a Brella Music page, and I'm also an artist. So if you guys feel like following my artist page as well, that's cool. I appreciate it. Looks like I got 2 live viewers. What up? Alright, Winter asked, Winter, I'm sorry bro, William Center, not Winter. Can you make like 3-minute beats with the programs that come with it? Sure, I can. 3-minute beats. I'm actually working on a beat tape right now, and making YouTube beats. I've kind of steered away from that, just because of the simple fact that you want to go through the copywriting process with your music before you release it to the public. But every now and then I'll do a beat online. The reason why I do it like that is because once your sound gets captured by somebody's ear, they can duplicate it. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want to put your copyright in place before you give anybody an ear in, unless they just really cool like that. And but yeah, I can make some videos at request, some beat videos. So that's cool. No problemo. Alright, so I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. Let's see my view. I think I gotta go to Command 1, and that will send me to my screen. So I'm good on the screen. Let me grab MPC Essentials real quick. Alright guys, this is where I left off on the last video with the UK Dance MPC Expansion, right over here on the left. And so let me close this out real quick. Close those stickies out. Alright, so when you download the sample pack, the Miss Blue Vinyl sample pack, you'll get a zip folder like this. And so once you open it up, you'll have a bunch of WAV files like this. Okay, this is not the actual sample that's in the pack. This is one that I chopped up from inside of the pack. So let me give you guys a peek into the sample pack. Bada bing, bada bing. I wasn't gonna do this, but hey, why not? You'll get a chance to see how slow my Mac is. Alright, so you got like 8 nicely sized wave formats, and so there's a bunch of music inside of these samples, and all you got to do is drag them and drop them into the MPC gray box. Alright, and I'm about to get into that. I'm about to show you that. It's my first time really like getting a good live stream going, so hopefully you guys are bearing with me. Didn't know how to do this prior to this week, and so my attention is a little divided because I'm trying to do all of these different things at one time, and I've never done them before. Plus I'm talking to people all over the world, and that's a factor as well, because I want to make sure I represent the right way, and that's important. So I'm gonna check and see if I can tune into my own live stream from my iPhone. It looks like I can. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna turn the volume down so that you guys don't have lag, and then I can video chat with you guys at the same time. Alright, let's see. That would help. I like the live streams. Okay, thanks William. Excellent. If you can let me know how my video quality is, that would be great. How's my video quality? Question mark. Alright, cool. I just hit you up, William. Appreciate that. Alright, so I think I'm going good. I think I'm going pretty good here. So I have I have the Mini on screen. Let me switch screens real quick. Yeah, I have the Mini on deck. I have MPC Essentials on deck, and then I have both on deck. And so I'm pretty sure that I think some of my quick keys coincide with the ones inside of MPC Essentials, but that's cool, no problem. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Are you guys ready for class? It's pretty good, everything's clear. Awesome. Awesome. Alright, so class is in session. Actually, let me do one more thing. I'm gonna try to be as transparent as I possibly can with you guys. I have not learned all of the quick keys on MPC Essentials yet. MPC Essentials, again, it's not my go-to beat making program. I use everything from GarageBand to Sonar to Pro Tools to whatever. I use everything. And so, not everything. I don't use everything. It's not possible to use everything. I'm sorry. I use all different types of DAWs and beat makers. I use the MPC 500, MPC 2000, blase blah. I'm gonna play an ad real quick. So if you guys could click on my ad, that would be awesome. Alright. So that's my first time doing that. Looks like I have a third viewer. What up, third viewer? You have a name, third viewer? Where you calling from? I mean, where you streaming from? Alright, so I'm gonna throw a quick little smiley in the chat section. Bada bing. And I'm gonna get started for real this time. This is actually really exciting. I haven't done anything like this before. I've been in chat rooms, of course. You remember when the Yahoo chat rooms were live? That was a while ago. But yeah, Facebook is the bomb now. Facebook Live. Alright, William says, I have Windows. What program would be good to use besides MPC Essentials? Dude, get Sonar Producer Edition. Anywhere from 5 on up. I have 8. And it comes with a bunch of VSTs. And so, like, if you are into making, it doesn't matter. You could score a movie with that software. But they have a contract with Roland. Roland is the originator of the 808, and so they have all of the 808s. They have the 909s, the 606s, all the possible drum kits that you could possibly need are inside the software. They have samplers, they have different VSTs like MPC Essentials already built in. So if you're really like a beginner super novice, I would say, you know, Fruity Loop Studio. That's what a lot of guys are doing, downloading the trial version, because, you know, software is not cheap. The trial version is decent. Alright, so alright, I dropped my little smiley in there. Dude, y'all are lucky because I haven't had my coffee yet. And I'm not groggy, grumpy. My wife will tell you I'm not a nice person to be around. Okay, so back to MPC Essentials. At the top, you'll see the main menu box. We're not going to go to the main menu box. We're going to go to the sample edit bar. Alright, so follow my mouse. You see that? Go to the sample edit section. Boom. You got the gray box. Now you rocking like a Christmas stocking. If you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, then whatever. Happy Hanukkah and let's see, what's some of the other ones? Rosh Hashanah and let's see. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this stuff right. But yeah, anyways, I don't want to get sidetracked. I love to talk, so as y'all can tell. We're going to drag and drop this sample into the gray area. the gray box inside of the sample edit function screen. Alright, I'm gonna drop it. Don't drop the baby. I dropped the baby. Okay, you can see the waveform here. Another way to sample, which I'm not getting into in this video, is via the microphone function or the input function. So you can see my vocal range being captured by the VU meter. You can also capture audio from your sound card via your vinyl record player, or some guys like to do what we call e-digging. And so you need to do your research on e-digging. I'm not about to get into that right now. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the sample edit window. Let me make sure I have audio. I want to make sure that I have audio on my video capture, because if I don't have audio on my video capture, this won't be a bust, but I'll actually have to start over because you guys won't be able to hear anything from my MPC. And that would really suck. Alright, so alright, looks like I have audio. Alright, cool. Stop. Okay, you guys get a chance to hear that nice sample. So what I don't know how many times I pressed that. Another thing I need to go over is latency. My card on my Mac is not super fast, and so you may see a bunch of delays until I get a newer Mac. So make sure you guys click on my ads and buy my kits. And I'll come with a harder Mac. Alright, so it looks like I do have audio. So I'm going to open up the screen with my Mini and MPC Essentials on the screen. So I should be good to go with that. Alright, let me know if you guys see the Mini and the MPC, because I can't open that screen. Sonar, it's only showing the MPK. Okay, that's fine. It should be showing everything right now. Actually, it isn't. Wait a minute. There's a delay on my end as far as what I see. It is only showing the MPK. Thanks. I appreciate that. So let me just switch scenes here with my studio. Alright, cool. That should be better, hopefully. Man, thanks, William. You are you are the bomb, man. You are the bomb. Yes, Sonar is made by a company called Cakewalk. So if you go to cakewalk.com, I think it is, you'll see their latest, and they have this awesome nope, I think that, yeah, it goes through Christmas. They have a deal. If you buy the software, you get it forever, of course, and then there's also an upgrade. You pay a little extra, and every time they do an update to that particular software, you don't have to pay. So it's like unlimited, where other people, if they decide to upgrade later, they have to pay, but you get the upgrades for free. And so that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I don't see my MPK now on the screen, so that's a problem. Sorry guys. Let me open my studio up again here. and go to scene 1. Alright, okay, so this is going to be a little bootleg just because this is my first time doing it. And you guys will get a picture or eye into how this works as well. So when you get versed in this, and then you'll be chopping it up with your people. You dig? So yeah. Alright, so we got our sample in. Take a look at the transients. These little audio waves that pop up, those are called transients, and that's probably like a snare or kick drum, a place where you want to chop. Alright, so I kind of want to just do this without talking and do what comes natural, but I want to show you guys the progression of how to do this. And so I want this to flow naturally though. So let me get rid of this distraction over here, and let me do this as if I'm starting from scratch. Okay, so I just dropped my sample in, right? And my menu functions are up here, right? This is my main menu, and this is where I am right now, where the sample is located. Okay, pay attention to the sample section and which one is highlighted, because that's the one that will be editable in the sample edit function. Alright, in the project section, whatever you have highlighted is what can be played at the time. So if you have 10 different programs going with 600 different sample chops in each program, which you can only do 128, then the one that you have highlighted is the one that you can play. So when you look at programs, this is the pad bank for each program. So follow my mouse if you can't see that. A through H. Alright, there's 16 samples you can put in each pad bank. And so 16 times H for my algebra people. Alright, sequences over here is for, wait a minute, I don't think you can see that. Let me get rid of the mini for a minute so you guys can just follow along with the screen. Okay, so sequences and program. The program you have highlighted along with the pad banks play the samples located in this area. Okay, and so each program has its own samples. I'll get to that. And the sequences go up top, up here, but that's not what this tutorial is about. We're sampling. I just kind of wanted to go from scratch so that you guys could kind of get an idea of what we are talking about here. Alright, so, and it's cool that I'm actually interacting with some people to kind of give an idea of what we're doing. So in the slice section, this is where I want you to pay attention to. Alright, this is your sample destruction area. You can totally destroy a sample here. So make sure that you pay attention to what the heck you're doing with this slice section. You can throw a sample away, you can delete it, you can throw away a section. So if you look at these markers up here, the green and red markers, you can drag the area that you want to edit, and you could totally trim this area out and keep this area, and so on and so forth. Blase skippity woo woo. So you can silence a section, You can take a section like I was just talking about, you can extract it and throw away the rest. You can reverse a sample, you can fade in, fade out, change the pitch. If you want to pitch a sample up or down, it's very easy to do that after you put the sample on the pad. And so unless you already know the sound you're going for, I don't suggest using the pitch shifter in the beginning. But you know, if you going after, I don't know, a certain particular sound, hey, go for it. Time stretch, gain change. Gain just basically turns the sample up and down. Time stretch makes it longer or shorter. I haven't really used that time stretch because usually, and this is a software, but usually it's hard to maintain the pitch when you're stretching the timeout. And if you do maintain the pitch, it comes out all grainy. You can copy and paste the sample. Bit reduction. I think that cat over there in Canada, I can't remember his name, but he works on Drake records with the OVO sound. He samples at a really, what before Drake, it would be considered a really bogus bit reduction, a really bogus sample rate with no low end. I'm sorry, no high end. And this bit reduction or bit reduce can give you somewhat of a mock sound in that particular ballpark, but I would say experiment with it, you know what I'm saying? But you won't be able to capture that same sound because he went through a process of sampling his kicks. Initially they were played with the bit reduction. They were recorded initially with the bit reduction, and so it would be very difficult to take a sample that's already been recorded, and then, you know, that's a whole theory class. Anyways, all right, so you can change the stereo sample to mono, and that's the slice section. Okay, so everything that we're looking at with this particular sample and dealing with these markers is in the trim. Okay, click on chop, follow my mouse, click on chop. This is where we, you know, enter into the kitchen, and we're the butcher. Alright, so when you switch to chop, this section changes to a couple different menus. When I click this drop down box, I got manual, threshold, regions, and beats per minute. Alright, so what manual does is it gives you a cursor, and when you get ready to chop your sample, you just hover over it and then you chop it. Alright, so it automatically gives you 16 even chops, but you can go in here and add your own. Alright, so I'm not going to do that, just giving you guys a demonstration. Alright, so that's what the manual chop does. Okay, and so you can set it to just do your 16 slices. This is the beginning of your sample, and this is your samples to the end. Man, I remember when we had those hardware samplers and we had to, I won't even get into it. So to audition the sounds, you just click on the bottom of the sample and it will play, but you click on the bottom of the chop. So threshold pretty much just chops the sample up based on where those transients are located that I was talking about in the beginning. Okay, So this is pretty much a 16 bar loop that I chopped out of the sample pack, the Miss Blue Vinyl sample pack. Go grab that. And these, having 46 sample chops doesn't do me any good unless I'm gonna lay these samples across the keys, which is not what I'm trying to do right now. But you do have that option to replay an entire sample scheme, I guess I want to call that. Okay, regions just gives me 16 even chops, and then beats is really cool. I can tell it, hey, you know, I want 16 even chops, or I can tell it I want 32 even chops. Alright, so given that I have one measure bars and 4 bar beats, or 4 bar measures. Alright, so what I like to use personally is a mix of regions and also I like to go in sometimes and use the manual chop after I set my regions up, because I don't like the way that this does not, the marker does not cause the pad to hit right at the beginning of the transient. Okay, so another important thing to remember is right here where it says link slices, turn that on, because when you turn it off, like let's just say with pad number 7 here, when I move this transient over, you see that pad number 7 has a red marker, right? You see where pad 8 is? When I truncate pad number 7 this way, there's space in between pad number 7 and pad number 8. So you definitely want to have link slices on so that you have a smooth transition between your samples. Okay. All right. So all right, William, you get a new MPK today. Cool, man. I know you can't wait. I don't know why you're torturing yourself with these videos. Nah, it's good, man. It's good to be able to know what you're doing before you dive into the pool. All right, so bottom right of the sample edit screen is your zoom. So you can zoom all the way into a transient. And since I have link slices on, when I move the beginning of 8, it will also move the end of 7. Bada bing. Alright. And when I move the end of 7, it will also move the beginning of 8, because the slices are linked together. Okay? Again, to edit and chop, it's the left side of the sample. The top. To audition it and play it, you click the bottom half. Alright, so that's what it will sound like when I hit pad 7. Alright, I'm gonna zoom back out just a little bit. One thing that I like to do is go from the beginning, and that 0, I'm like, okay, cool, that looks good. Then I'll take pad 2, let's drag him over. Let's see how he sounds. Oh yeah, that sounds good. Chop number 3, pad number 3. Ooh, that sounds great. And so this is a very simple way to make sure that your transients are hitting right where you want them. And we have link slices. If there's a transient that you're not sure if you're hitting right on, again, use that zoom, man. Zoom all the way into that sample and be like, okay, that's where that begins. And then just drag your marker over. Boom. How does that sound? That's right on. Bam, bam. That snare is right there. Bam. So it looks like Siri thinks that I'm summoning her, but I'm not. Alright. I zoomed out too far. It's really surprising that somebody hit me up from India today. I'm really blown away by that. When you have piano sound, I could tell right away by looking at this is a piano. Sometimes it's good to capture those little finger movements by the piano player. You see how he kind of like rolled his fingers? That really enhances the way that that sample chop sounds. Because if you hit it right on the transient, it will be good, but just to get that little finger roll at the beginning, it's nice. And that's just one thing that I do. Let's see here, then there now, zooming into sample pad number 7. I remember when I was dating, right? So there was this young lady. We were on a date, and I did what I did just now. I just started singing a song, and so she was like, "You just burst out into song randomly," and I'm like, "Yeah, you don't." So it's tripped out. My wife does it, and like I would say 80% of my friends burst out into song at any given time. I'm surrounded by musicians and rappers and singers, and we're weird and eccentric and all of that good stuff. So I'm auditioning my samples as I go along, and I'm talking about random stuff that's not important to you guys. Alright, so chop number 10. Let me listen to 10 again. Yeah, that's a... You hear how that sample, that snare pops? You want to get the snare pop, man. You know what I'm saying? Samples don't always have to be right on the transient, especially when you're producing hip-hop. Sometimes you need that delay, or you need that swing. It adds a swing to the hi-hat or a swing to the snare. So you don't always have to be right on. You definitely don't. Bum, 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 bum. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. Instead of just showing how to sample, I'm actually gonna make a beat like William requested. As long as my Wi-Fi signal is being nice to me, because sometimes I get dropout. As long as it's being nice to me, I'll go ahead and make a beat. Make a beat. I'm gonna switch it up. I'm already doing 16 chops on this joint, but I'm only gonna use 8 of my pads. Which MPK did you get, William? Because they got the MPK Mini, they got the MK2 black, and then they got the MK2 red. So I'm curious as to which one you got. Alright, so we got 16 chops. I want you guys to really pay attention right now, because this is important. This is probably one of the most important things that I've said since beginning this video. Alright, I'm going to zoom all the way out. What we need to do now with these 16 chops is put them onto the pads. And you can't just drag and drop. There's actually an operation that causes you to write information to your drive. So I want you to pay very close attention to what I'm about to do. Okay? Now, one process of sampling is uh, editing, and another process is destructive editing. So destructive editing is normally not your friend unless you are doing something like creating sounds for a let's just say I record a song in Germany and I come back with my laptop to the States and something, I don't know, God forbid, a track gets corrupted with a particular sample on it in their Pro Tools session, and then they ask me, hey, can you send me the original sample played out rather than sending me the track because I want to add a different effect or whatever. Then you would need to destructively send them the sample chops on a track, and that or if they wanted to play them themselves, you would destructively chop those samples up and then send them that way. So destructive editing can be good, but for general beat making purposes, you don't want to use destructive editing with your samples. Alright, so in this section you have non-destructive convert, and then you have extract new samples. Now extract new samples is not your friend unless requested. Okay, you want to maintain the integrity of your sample and still be able to edit inside of this window once you put the samples on the pads, because you may decide, hey, 9 is not hitting, it's not snapping hard enough, and you can drag this over and play it from the pad. So you're going to create a new program in the non-destructive convert window. Okay, cool. You got the MK2. You rocking, man. You're gonna go through that headache process of getting it to work on PC, but I'll try to help you as much as I can. Depending on what version of Windows you got, it should recognize it right away. XP was a freaking headache, man. But anyways, you're gonna click on new program, right? Alright, so you have convert to new program using slices, right? Make sure this says non-destructive slice, because if you click on anything other than non-destructive, or if you use just make sure that you use new program using slices, alright, and non-destructive. I just create events just because I like that, right? It creates a MIDI patch for each sample. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this 8 bars with 16 chops, and this sample is not exactly right on time. It's not a perfect loop, but it will chop good enough so that my MIDI patch, and I usually go in there and delete the MIDI because I'm gonna replay it anyway when I'm making a beat. But I just make it. It's just I guess force of habit. You don't necessarily have to do that. Alright, so the people at Akai are cool. They don't hit confirm. They don't say confirm or enter or whatever. Just do it. So I'm gonna click on do it. So once I do that, when I go to my main edit window, you'll see, let me zoom all the way out, you'll see where it created my MIDI patch, or MIDI what do you call this? I would just say a MIDI map inside of the project window, or the step recorder. I like to see these to confirm that my samples are in there. It's just kind of like a mental thing. So up top, since I'm going to be making a beat and my beat is not going to be 2 bars, I'm going to drag this up to 8. 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Alright, my quantize is going to be set to 16, and I went over this on the last video. Go check out the last video and then you'll get it all. And then the swing is default 50. So up here up top under the main menu mode, you'll see these little tools. The first tool is the draw, so you can draw notes in, blah 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 blah, right? And the second one is the select tool, which is really cool because like you can, like a surgeon, go in there, click on the note and be like, I don't like that note. Alright, I'm going to Command A, delete all of these notes because I don't need any of those. I just like to see them. On the last video I went over the pads, and so go ahead and go back and watch the last video in order to actually, you know what, I'll go over it now. Hit program select and click program 2 to make sure you have the MPC pad set up. Alright, so if you don't get that, you definitely have to go back and watch the other video. Alright, cool. So now we have our pad set up, and you guys are pretty much good to go at this point. If you watch the last video, you'll see how to take these particular pads and samples or sounds and actually making the beat. And I'm gonna take this a step further. So once I created a new program with these pads or with these samples on the pads, and again, if I go back to the sample edit window, you can see that I can non-destructively drag these markers to correspond with the pad that I'm playing to, I don't know, get a stronger snap on the transient or make it looser. Is looser a word? More loose? Loosely. So yeah, make sure that in order to play the samples in this particular program that it's highlighted, because if you click on program 1, you won't hear anything because there's nothing located in program 1. Alright, so boom, go back to this particular kit, and the kit will automatically be named unless you specify different after the sample. And so yeah, I call my pianos Pi Annie for some reason. I watched this old western one time, and then the guy was like, he was shooting at the guy, telling him, he was like, play it again, Sam. He's like, my name's not Sam. And the guy was like, pow, 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 get on that Pi Annie and play. I'm like, okay, a Pi Annie. And it just kind of stuck. I really like that ragtime piano sample as well, and Korg really captured it well. It's very hard to find a ragtime piano sample, but it's a dope sample, dope sound. I'm sorry, dope patch. Okay, so as y'all can tell, I can get sidetracked. I'm about to make a beat. Can I use different sample packs within one beat? Yes. As a matter of fact, I will show you how right now. Alright, so bottom left hand of the screen, click on the arrow to make the triangle point left, and then click the X. I would go into the file system right now, but this is a beginner tutorial, so I won't go into all that. Okay, so click on the X, made the arrows, right? And if you load all of your kits that come with the MPK Mini, you'll have these joints right here. Alright. First thing I want to work on is my kick. So I'm going to go to samples. I could load a program, but then that will wipe the current program that I have out. And so one of the options that you have with the MPC Essential software is that you can load individual samples onto the pads. And if I take a kick and I place it here, it'll just knock my sample out and everything's fine. It won't corrupt anything. So I'm going to the UK DANCE MPC Expansion pack, and they have some decent kicks in here. And so I'll be auditioning these, so give me a second. You guys should be able to hear them as well. Okay. So you guys are getting a sample pack audition as well as a tutorial. I should have went down to the kick section, right? No, that's cool. So just like I was going over on the other tutorial, in this particular kit, man, if you're making like dubstep or grime or something like that, man, these are perfect in my Catwoman voice. It's nice bass. I like that Kick Bro 6. So I'm going to take Kick Bro 6 and I'm going to drag them on to pad number 1. Make sure pad number 1 highlights, right? And then you'll get that screen to let you know that it's highlighting. Alright. I'm going to hit pad 1. There's my kick. So now I need a nasty little snare to go along with that kick, right? So let's get a nasty little snare. A snare is not a snare without a snare. Alright, so bada bing, let's take a look. Let's try Snare Bro 6. I don't like that one. I'm sorry. I like Snare Bro 3. That's got a nice little snap to it. We'll come back. I like that Glover clap. I'm gonna drag him over here, and then I'm gonna take I want to layer him with Kick Snare Bro 3. And so, you know, as you go along, you will develop a mental. If you're a musician already, you already have the capability to follow a sound and recognize a note. You'll remember how it sounds, and you'll be able to put sounds together in your head like, I wonder what this would sound like with this. And so I got my snare here, and then I got my clap here. Cool. Let's get a nice little hi-hat. When you're building drum kits, make sure that you have an idea of what an actual drum set looks like in your head to begin with. Not every drum kit needs to be like a drum set, but starting out, you need to kind of focus on kick, drum, hi-hat. You know what I'm saying? Toms, cymbals, tambourines, just kind of like the setup of a drummer, and work from that point. Because the bass, I'm sorry, not the bass. Oh yeah, bass kick as well. A bass kick is good to go on just a regular kick. But the drummer is the foundation of the band. That's why they get all the girls. But that's beside the point. With no drummer, it's very difficult to have a band unless you're doing, like, I don't know, flamenco guitar music. You know what I'm saying? But percussion is so important for the heartbeat and the rhythm. If you listen to like Latin music, if you listen to like Puerto Rican or Mexican music, merengue, salsa, African drums, go to Brazil. The Brazilian drums are crazy. So drums are very important. And again, sampling is an art form. I just chopped that sample up randomly, and I know that you guys really need more of an in-depth thing, but I'm kind of like swaying myself to the left a little bit for the homie William to get an idea of how these drum kits work, and then I'll go back to the sampling part. Alright, so I'm gonna find the hi-hat. Again, I want to encourage you guys to definitely click on the ad links on my video so that this makes sense. Does not make sense for me to sit around on YouTube without actually being able to sit around and make videos on YouTube. Don't really like these hi-hats that much. Ooh, that one's kind of cool. It's a little bigger than I want. I want something crispy. Rice too. But yet has its own body, because it's got this track. The hi-hat needs to have somewhat of rhythmic quality, and it has to have its own. It has to have its own voice. Haven't found the hi-hat that I want, so maybe I should just pick one. I'm gonna pick this reverse rice, and I'm gonna put it on pad number 4. Alright, cool. We got a decent drum kit going here. If you guys got any questions, hit me up. Let's see. Thanks, you have been so helpful. I appreciate it. No problem, bro. There's a million people out there on different forums. I search online sometimes, and there's a million different forums where people just are frustrated and they have no idea and they never find it. Like on the last video, I was like, people end up they ship them back, or they take them to the local swap meet, and they just like, whatever, this is a piece of crap, and they don't realize how powerful this thing is. Alright, so I got my hi-hat, got my little clap, my snare, my kick. So let's focus on the menu edit area, the program edit area. So once you get your sample or samples loaded onto the pads, this area is going to be your best friend. Alright? The master pitch bender is located here for your program. So if I was to drag this down or to the left, I'll play a sample. Let me turn on my full level. If I drag this to the left, it will take it down. The entire program will go down. The kicks, snares, hi-hats, everything. And so that could be helpful if you're using the MPC inside of another program like Pro Tools, GarageBand, and you just only have the samples located in there. But again, it's frustrating if you have a kick and then you you lose the tone of the kick that you originally wanted, or your snare. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that the master pitch bender, unless you're only using samples, unless you're, I'm sorry, I was trying to make sure I had my master pitch bender back where it's supposed to be. If you're only using samples, it's fine to tweak the master pitch bender. Unless you want your entire drum kit to be whack, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Alright, to the left of the master, oh yeah, and there's a fine tune. So if you take this down 12 octaves, I'm sorry, 12 semitones, this one fine tune is one semitone, all the way left and all the way right. So you can fine tune things like a half a semitone or 3/4 or whatever. Alright, so next to it on the left you have mono and poly. So mono basically makes sure that when you play a sample in the kit, they cut each other off. When you set it on poly, you can play the samples and they won't cut each other off. So I can hit both of these at the same time, they won't cut each other off. But when I hit mono, you see how they cut each other off? But if I put poly, I can totally play everything at the same time. Alright? There's a way around this by creating a X group. And so what you do inside of the X group, somebody just started cutting grass and then I lost my train of thought. Inside of the X group, if you look at the bottom here, here's pad banks A through H, and the one that I'm playing, or the one that I am editing, is highlighted. So I can select that here, or I can select it up here. So right now I'm going to select pad number 9, right? Alright, and so inside pad number 9 I have a sample, a piano chop sample, which you guys were there from the beginning. You can see that. When you go to pad play modes, enter into mute group, and when you set up mute group 1, everything inside of mute group 1 will cut each other off when you play the next pad. So you can set up a bunch of mute groups depending on how many joints you're doing, how many pad banks you're making, and how many samples you're chopping. But with me, I only use like possibly 3 mute groups. I only use usually 1 or 2. Max I would use 3. But mute groups are really important if you're, come on, you see this? It's not staying open. Mute groups are really important when you're using combination sample packs and drums. Alright, so I put all of the samples on the top half in the same mute group, so these, they should cut each other off, whereas the entire program has the poly on. So I can play a kick, I could play a kick at the same time and it won't cut the other samples off. That way it sounds like an actual, I guess, live band. So now that I have that set up, I can start to play. Another thing that's really important to remember is if you want to change the pitch of an individual sample, just make sure that that sample is highlighted. I'm gonna go down to the kick. Where's my kick? Click on the kick, and so the kick bro 6 is here, right? Here's the pitch bender for the kick, and so I can individually change his pitch. So while I'm talking about individual editing, let me go to the mixer real quick. I covered this on the last video, but why not? So in the mixer, here's the kick bro 6. I can also go to this drop down menu and I can add effects, and it will also pick up the audio unit effects from like Logic and Pro Tools and GarageBand and all of those. So keep that in mind. So yeah, kick, snare, clap, hi-hat. One thing I wanted to do was add an effect to this clap. I want to put something like a phaser or a tremolo or something on this, and it just comes with time. You'll get a feeling of what you want to do before you start making a beat. Sometimes it comes as you go along. You just want to try to figure stuff out. So I'm going to put a little phaser on this. So I'm going to click on phaser. It'll pop up inside of the effects panel in slot number 1. And when I double click on phaser, I'll get the actual VST to pop up itself, or the effect. So this is what it sounds like now. So I'm going to tweak the rate because y'all like tweaking. Yiddy. I like that. I'm going to show you another little tweak. This is my snare clap, my clap snare. I'm going to bring the pitch up just a little bit. Alright, this is tweaking to the max. Y'all won't even get this in school, bro. They're not gonna teach you this in school. Alright, so I'm gonna bring my snare down just a little. Alright, that's kind of like the sound that I had in my head. Not really. I have a couple other different ideas that I would do with that, but just giving you guys an idea of what it's like to tweak on this joint. Alright, so bottom menu. Really, today is the day to cut everything and weed whack and jackhammer. Sorry about that, guys. It's all good though. So yeah, it's kind of like what I want my snare to sound like. Let me bring this clap down just a little bit, a couple dB. Alright, so I'm gonna set my BPM something like 103, just because I want to create like something like a 1993 RZA Wu-Tang vibe or something, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so my metronome is on. Make sure that your loop function is on as well. And so if your loop is not on, it's right here. If your loop, and you can totally edit it, everything in this particular sequence here as well. If your loop's not on, it's just gonna keep playing. and it's going to be looking for the next sequence that does not exist yet. Okay, so and you can also copy and paste sequences as well. So if I create a beat pattern here, I can copy and paste it from 1 to 9. Wow. So yeah. It's like this guy knows that I'm recording live and he wants to be annoying. I know that's not the case. I'm a little self-centered. If you ask my wife, I'm very self-centered. But anyways, so we got our drum kit going. I forgot where I was. Loop is on. I'm gonna press play. And so now, without recording with my metronome, I can get an idea of what my beat's gonna sound like. So I just chill on that metronome for a minute and just get that vibe. Just get the vibe. Just feel the beat. Feel the metronome. So now that I'm feeling the metronome a little bit, and then also up here in the metronome menu, you can click on that and you can change what it sounds like. I don't really like that. I like the MPC click, but I just wanted to throw that in there. Alright, so bada bing, bada boom. I'm gonna go ahead and throw my snare in here in time, and it'll be a little robotic because I got it at 16. I got the quantize set to 16ths. I think I need to tweak that snare a little bit more, but I'm gonna go ahead and record it. So as you can see, I think I got a whack note in there. As you can see, I have my MIDI map with my snares on hit. There's a bad note right there. Oh yeah, if you don't want the screen to swing with the cursor, I'm trying to find that particular function for you guys. I forgot where it is. So I'm feeling the rhythm already, but let me go ahead and I'm still recording though. Let me stop this for a second. I hate when I hit record and then I start I hate when I hit record and then I start auditioning another sound, and then the next thing you know, I recorded it. This is the auto scroll here. That's what I was trying to find, that little thing right there. And so now when you're editing an area, the cursor will keep moving without you. Alright, cool. Select that one note. Delete him out of there. Oh, he's not selected. Delete him out of there. Alright, I'm going to zoom out. I decided just now that I only want to do a 5-measure loop. So I'm going to select, 4-measure loop. I'm going to select all these snares, and then I'm going to bring my bar count down to 4 bars. So now my loop function is on. I got 4 bars, and I'm gonna go back to the mixer real quick, and I'm gonna play, and I'm gonna tweak these a little bit. More snare. Less clap. Really would like to use a different clap right now, but for the sake of time, for the time, for the snare, I'm gonna use the MPC internal effects, and I'm gonna throw a slight amount of reverb on it. Small amount of reverb, not too much though. As you can tell, that's way too much, but it's a large room reverb, so that's what it's designed to do. I don't like that pre-delay. And then I'm gonna turn this down. Give that nice little concert hall effect. Alright. That's kind of how I want my snare to pop off in this piece. With my kick, I want a deeper tone. So I'm going to go back over here to the edit menu. Select my kick. I'm gonna fine tune them. I want them to have that thump. Good. Alright, so that sounds great. Alright, so we got a nice little segue for our kick to go in here. I usually record my kick first, but sometimes I do both at the same time. Just going with what feels natural. Get our hi-hat going. I still don't like that hi-hat. Let's tweak this hi-hat just a little bit. that's what makes the mini fun. You know what I'm saying? So that way the hi-hat has its own little personality. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, one thing that I forgot to tell y'all: save early, save often. Even Jesus saves. Make sure that you hit that Command S or that Control S as much as you possibly can, because software crashes. You will lose files. You will lose some of the dopest beats that you ever made in your career, and they will be gone forever. I know I should be laughing at that, but it happens, I promise. Alright, so let me check my chat box. The homie William, let's see, how long have you been making beats? I bought my first keyboard with a synthesizer. It was a Roland JX305 back in 2002. Like I got like $500 up, and I was like, man, I gotta get this board. You know what I'm saying? And I bought it used, and it sat in the closet for like a year. And I was like, okay, man, you know, I gotta take some time out to figure out how this thing works. 06, I got really serious. People were like, oh man, you know, this beat is pretty tight, you know, did you make that? I'm like, yeah. Like, nah, you didn't make that beat. I'm like, yeah, I made this beat. And it's like, let me get that. So I'm like, okay, let me get $100. Let me get $200. And so people were willing to pay a couple $100 for a beat. And then 2011 was when I made that big jump. So it's a process, man. It's not something that you can just jump into. All right, so back to the beat. Again, this is like 1/10 of my process. This is only one area that I make beats in. I'm gonna get back to the sample in a second. Oh snap. We have a live viewer getting his MPK in the mail right now. That's crazy. That's crazy dope. Congratulations, man. He just got his MPK Mini. Like, the UPS man just showed up at his crib as I'm making this live tutorial. Only in 2016. Only on my channel does that happen. That's crazy. Alright. So you should be able to follow along to this video real good in a second. So my drum kit is pretty much where I want it to be. It's not the bomb. I am kind of on the spot. I'm not relaxed. But I'm pretty relaxed. A lot of times beat makers, artists in general, when we don't do something just like outstanding, we like, oh yeah, the wind was blowing, I wasn't really feeling it. Alright, so let's go back to the sample. Let me shoot William congrats real quick. Thinking of having some type of giveaway to my 600th subscriber. I'm about 5 away from 600, so my 600th subscriber, I'm gonna do something. I gotta do something. I got a 1K goal. I'm trying to get up to 1,000, so the 1,000 subscriber definitely is gonna get the hook up. All right, so let me switch back to my samples. Oh, I'm still recording. I was just saying that earlier. I hate when I do that. When you audition in the sample, it happens. And I got a little bit of lag and latency because my processor is trying to do all of these things at one time. Let's get those out of there. And let's stop recording. Cool, bro. I'm new. William just said I'm definitely gonna be on every live stream I can. I'm new at this. I don't know how often I'll be doing it, and I don't know when I'll if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, follow me on Instagram and shoot me a DM of your email, and then we can connect through email as well. Or you can just shoot me an email. My email is rawbeats@gmail. Alright. Let me go ahead and oh yeah, I was with the sample. Working with the sample. Working with that sample, working with that sample, working with that sample. So here's the part where, let me stop the beat for a second because I gotta say something important. Here's the part where the subscriber for life, yay. William, that's my dude. All right, let's go. So here's the part where the sampling as an art form comes into play. So over here in the sample section, I got to make sure I got to click on Piani because that's the one that I want to edit. I got these other samples here that I loaded onto the bottom 8 pads. We're not going to be editing those. We're just going to be editing this. what we're going to focus on is sample chop. Oops, I put another sample chop in there as I was saying it. That's crazy. We're going to focus on sample chop 9, 10, and so on and so forth through 16. Alright, so on pad bank A, make sure it's red to get the top half. Watch my last video to figure out what the heck I'm talking about. And then right off the jump, the way that I recorded these samples in, they're pretty clean, and you may want a grainy sound. You may want to go to the mixer and turn them down, and that's probably what I'm going to do right now. Let me go to sample number 9, and then I'm going to scroll over. I think I scrolled over too far. I'm in pad bank number B and C and D. That's crazy. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. Pads 9 through 16. I'm gonna bring these down some. Cause right now I'm about to start tweaking, and tweaking gets really annoying when you're freaking destroying your eardrums. And so one thing about having longevity, especially when you mixing and mastering people's projects, you don't want to destroy your eardrums and be like freaking, 50 years old and you can't hear. So that's just a little tip. Now I could leave these like they are, or I can tweak them and pitch them. I'm just kind of feel my way out. Comment section. I'd rather not type it on YouTube, just because of the bots and the spammage, and so I will figure out a way to get it to you. Follow me on Instagram though, definitely, if you're on Instagram. If you're not, again, it's rawbeats, RAWBEATZ @gmail. Alright, so let me bring my drums back in and turn my metronome off. That's annoying. In most cases, it probably would be good to just put your samples on this top row, and then use this row for your bass notes, and then use the other for you'll figure out your workflow as you go. I think I'm on 9, right? Yeah, 9. Alright, so I got a nice little 5 measure loop joint going there. Hopefully I won't forget my idea. Actually, I'm going to stop it from the beginning. Turn my metronome back on. I think I did that wrong. Let's go back. Stop. Undo that. And let's try it again. I messed up again. Let's try that again. Forgot I had 30-second notes on. I gotta go and tweak something. Let me turn that record off so I don't mess up. Where is that note? I don't know where that note is. Give me a second. Hey, I appreciate that follow, bro. Let's see here. Let me stop. Go back. Play. Actually, let me zoom out. I need to be able to look at my entire note map. Bling, blang, 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 blang. Let me stop playing. Looks like I didn't start on the first measure, so I'm gonna start all over again because I did not play from the start. Oh yeah, let me fix my quantize. I want that to be on 16th notes, not 30-second triplets. Oh yeah, another thing that I forgot to do was set my tempo on my mini. I'm not going to be doing that, using that function, but you set the tempo on your mini with your project first. But I'm not doing any trap stuff or anything like that, so it's cool. This is just a random beat. Alright, so from the top. So it looks like one of my samples is not hidden right on the transient. I highlighted that sample, so it's going to highlight that area. Oops. Zoomed in too far. Maybe I should have selected the sample. I was going where the cursor is. There we go. Nice and tight. So I need like a little bass line in here. Let me turn that metronome off. I needed a little bass line in here. But you guys get the gist. And that is how you sample with the Akai MPC Essentials standalone version. A lot of guys out there, they won't show you how to make a whole beat with the standalone version because they prefer to use it with a DAW, and you can open different instances, and you can do this in individual tracks. Doing it in the standalone version will give you more of a foundation for when you start to use it with a DAW with separate instances. Because if you don't understand this, then you definitely won't be able to take these basic skills and then implement them inside of a DAW, because that's a whole nother level. That's a whole nother level. Anyways, let's see, what else do I need to go over? Don't you feel like you're back in 1995 with this beat, or 1993? Sounds like a Biz Marquee type of loop or something like that. Definitely. So to wrap everything up and to finalize everything, I want to let you guys know that you can export your beats from this. Can you record an entire album project on this software? No, unless you were on some extra stuff and you were recording one pad with your entire vocal verse on it, another pad with a singer. It's possible, but not expedient. It's definitely not practical to record an album project in the software. The software is solely for making beats. It's like if you actually went to your local store and bought an MPC. That's exactly what you're looking at on the screen. So you won't be able to record an album project, but you will be able to make beats. And so you can export your beats and sell those joints, and then go and grab you a DAW. Let's see here. I showed you guys how to render your beat on the last video, so go check that out. As you can see, the UK drums, they're pretty hard. Did I call them UK drums? I'm sorry. The UK Dance Expansion Pack drums, MPC Expansion drums. They're pretty hard. And you can make anything with from trap to, as you can see, like old school hip hop with these drums. You could definitely make some poppy stuff, and it's pretty much everything. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let me go back to my little faithful mini. For some reason, my quick key stopped working in the middle of the recording. That's crazy, but it's cool. Please go pick up the MS blue vinyl sample pack. Again, it's at selfie.com/bruh. That'll help you follow along with this tutorial a lot better, because you'll actually have the sample that I used in the tutorial, but you'll have to try it out for yourself. Again, my Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, search Bruh or Bruh Music. I'm all over the social media scope of the universe. And yeah, this was my first successful live stream where I was able to talk to my subscribers. I'm very, very satisfied with this. I'm happy. Got a chance to stream about 4 hours worth of content. 4 hours. I'm looking at 4 subscribers watching. I got a chance to do about an hour and 40 minutes of content, and looks like I got 4 people watching as I'm talking right now. That's really cool. This would be a good time to play an ad, so I'll play an ad right now. If you guys could click on that ad, that would be great. And you guys are the bomb. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And that's the business. I am still new at this. I'm going to get better. My setup is going to be better. Even the way that the screen looks is janky and bootleg, but you know, God loves humble beginnings, and so I'm not tripping. And if y'all will rock with me, I definitely rock with y'all and show y'all a whole. This is just the tip of the iceberg, bro. This is nothing. All right, so Bruh signing out. I need like a little slogan or something to say at the end of my live videos. I'll probably come up with something next time. All right, y'all. Peace. It would help if I stopped the transmission, right? That's me, awkward sometimes. All right. I'm going to stop streaming this time for real. If I can find the button. Okay, here it is.